Welcome back to SM Postcards. Today, got another Widget Wednesday. Just a small thing to talk about eBay stores. Getting a lot more questions from people saying, should I open a store? When did you move to the higher store? When should I do that? A lot of those questions are the right questions, you ask me, because you're learning how things work. But eBay has free listings where you don't need to have a store. You get so many a month and stuff. That's how they used to do it before. People used to count their listings and only put 30 items up and stuff like that. That's kind of long gone for most people that want to get into this and make it a gig thing where part-time or full-time. eBay has stores, and we're going to go over each of the levels. I'm not going to get real detail in them, because if you go to your account in eBay, you go to subscription, you can see what plan you have if you have a store. Or you can go to eBay Help and put in eBay stores. And it's going to give you a lot more information that I'm going to be able to get through in this short video. But I'll give you the highlights of it, what I found, and what I think of having an eBay store. A lot of the stuff you see here comes right from the eBay Help. It's the best place to go if you have any questions, or Google or YouTube. You can find a lot of information about eBay and how it works and stuff like that. Kind of stay away from some of the critical stuff all the time, because that's just trying to get people to watch their videos. Yeah, there's going to be problems and stuff like that, but overall eBay is the platform that I've selected. There's more people on eBay than any of the other sites for selling postcards. There's more postcards on there, and it's where 90% of the postcards and postcard people are. Now, eBay says subscribing to an eBay store lets you bring together all your listings in a single branded location. Store subscriptions also give you access to additional tools that you don't have if you don't have a store. And different levels of each store have different access and tools, which breaks it down in the eBay Help file. So these additional tools will help you manage your business selling on eBay, along with discounted fees and increased number of free listings per month. And you're going to see the difference on what it would cost instead of sitting there counting your fees. Once you get a store, just like a starter store, I think it's like 250 listings or something. We're going to look at that. But once you take the number of listings off the table, the conversations change dramatically. But there are 5 levels of eBay store subscriptions. There's the starter, the basic, premium, anchor, and the enterprise. Each eBay store package has its own fee structures with different discounts on insertion and final value fees and varying numbers of free listings. Right here's a breakdown of the stores. When I started on eBay, we didn't have all these different options. We had, I think it was maybe a basic, premium, and anchor, and enterprise. We didn't have the starter store. But if you're just starting out, eBay, even if you got an anchor store, which can have a lot of listings available to do, they're not going to allow you to do that. They're going to, first 2-3 months, 1 to 3 months, you might get 10 listings a month or 20. You can ask for more and stuff like that. But they want to make sure that you're able to follow their processes and be a good seller before they let you have that. So don't start out up at anchor, because it's going to take you a while to grow. And you can always upgrade your subscription of the store. But a starter store's, if you pay by the year, it's a lot cheaper. Now, when I just first started out, I just paid by the month because I wasn't for sure if this is really what I wanted to do. So I paid by the month so I could just turn it off and stop. But if this is something you want to do, then I would definitely sign up for a subscription plan for the year. So a starter store is only $5 a month, $4.95 if you pay by the year, or $8, $7, $7.95 a month. Great way to get started while you're learning and getting there. Then you move to a basic store. Yearly is $21.95 or $27.95 for monthly. Premium is $75. And what I have is premium $59.95. And we're going to go over how many listings they give you here in a second. So I only paid $60 a month to have 57,000 postcards up online. Anchor store, when you jump up to that one, that's $349.95 a month, or $299.95, $300 a month to have an anchor store. And before, that's what most big postcard sellers, like I have a lot of cards listed, we paid $300 a month for an anchor store for years. That was, everybody knew you can have 10,000 listings up and that was it. You paid $300, so the first number of cards you paid your eBay store. Back in sometime a few years ago, they come out and said if you have a premium store, you can have 10,000 listings and 50,000 free listings. So you can have 60,000 listings for $60 a month, and we were paying $300. And they retroactively let you go down to premium to use those listings. So you didn't have a penalty to pay. Me, if I remember right, my subscription was up the month that they did that, so I was just able to move right over to premium, and I saved, what, $250 a month, $240 a month, right off the bat, and increased my listings that I could do by 50,000. That's what they do in the premium for postcards. It's only for special categories, certain categories, and postcards fall into that. So all the big time sellers right away save $250. And some people say, well, that might go away. I don't play those games. I don't worry about if it goes away. If it goes away, then I'll just have to, buck it up, and I'll just have to figure out what to do then. But I'm not worried about stuff like that. I'm not going to sit there and lose sleep over if they're going to take it away or do something like that. If you're thinking about that, you're already living it. So I can't control it, but I don't think it's going to go away. But then the enterprise store is way above what we do. If you got an enterprise store, you're probably not watching this video. That's $3,000 a month. Those are the big sellers. Because let's break down the zero insertion fees, or ZIFs they call it, per month insertion fee after here. Now with a starter store, you get 250 listings between, looks like between the both, auction and whatever, is what you get. That's a lot of listings. Now are you going to be able to list that at the beginning? No, you're probably going to get 10 or 20 for the first month, maybe 30 next month, and 50. Then pretty soon you're going to get more listings than you'll be able to get up. But it takes 1 to 3 months to really move up there, to let them know what you're doing. But just for $5 a month or $8 a month, you can get 250 listings. So if you're sitting there trying to count how many listings you got and stuff like that, you don't have enough volume on eBay to make a difference. Unless you're just doing it out of your closet and stuff, that's fine. But a lot of people are still stuck in there that they count how many listings and they stop listing until the next month. Just get a starter store. You get 250 listings. Then you move to basic store. So you can have 250 auction listings a month for your store, what you pay for a store. Or you can get 1,000 in all categories and then 10,000 in another category. You'd have to look. I think it's postcards are in there. Now one thing about it, people ask me, what is the 25 cents here? Well, if you go over 1,000 listings in all categories, for that month, you're going to pay 30 or 25 cents per listing, and it can add up. So you want to be careful about that and move to the next store. People have asked me, when do you move? So going from a basic to a premium, you add that 25 cents up and say I'm up to 1,500 listings. Is that over $60 for a premium store? Or am I at 1,100? Maybe next month I'll move. I just moved. I didn't wait. I didn't want to worry about listings. It's only $50 a month. I just moved. So that's how you move up there. Now eBay's got to give you the listings, allow you to, your listing allowances to list that many, but it'll come. But figure out what it's going to cost if you go over your allotted listings times the price. Is it 10 cents or 25 cents? And then what's the difference? What's cheaper? Staying there for a month and moving forward. But you're going to end up moving anyway if you're really into putting a lot of postcards up. But going from a basic to a premium, is most mid to large sellers are going to be in the premium store, is what I figured. Most people just doing handfuls of stuff are going to be in the starter and the basic. In the premium, you can have 500 auction, and after if you use those in that 1 month, you get 15 cents is what they charge you per listing. But then you can get 10,000 in all categories, and for special categories like postcards is in there, you can get 50,000 free. So you can do 60,000 listings in your store for postcards at a premium level for $59.95 a month if you got a yearly plan, or $74.95, $75 if you just pay monthly. That's one heck of a deal. And then when you move up to Anchor, like I'm at 57,000 basically cards. I'm going to stay right around there. I'm not going to move to an Anchor store. I'm not going to open another store. I'm as big as I want to get. You have to put a ceiling on it. A lot of people go out and just keep putting cards up, and have multiple stores and all this other stuff. Get an Anchor store and pay $300 a month. No, I don't want to do that. You got to find your spot where you're going to stop, and I'm stopping here, and I only sell on eBay. So for the last few years I got off all the other sites I used to sell on, just went to eBay and said I'm staying right at 60,000 cards. That's really all I have room in here for. Now I can put other shelves in the fish room and different places. I have places I can put another 60,000 cards, another 100, 200,000 cards in this basement, but I'm not going to do it. I don't want to manage that. There's a point where you don't get the return and stuff, and then you're spending too much time managing stuff. It's just like cross-listing. I don't sell all these other sites with cross-listing apps and all this other stuff just to get sales. I want to be able to manage and do this better. And then the enterprise store, I'll just not even talk about that. But when you get a store, you got to name it. eBay name. Have you ever looked at a name in a store on eBay? I haven't. Now mine's called SMPostcards, and my ID is SMPostcards. But there's some things you want to do when you get into that on there, and I took this right from eBay. When you choose a name for your store, we'll create a website, a URL, for you. We'll remove special characters such as apostrophe, spaces, ampersand sign, all these different things, and hyphens between the words, and make letters all lowercase. So they're gonna, whatever you put in there, they're gonna change it. If you, for example, if your eBay store is fine jewelry, it's gonna come up www.ebay.com/str-fine-jewelry. And here's some things to keep in mind when doing the store names. It can be your eBay username as long as it meets the requirements above that we just talked about. It must start or end with a letter or a number. It can start with 4 or more consecutive letters. It can't start with 4 or more consecutive letters like A, B, 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 and stuff like that, or end with that. It can't start with the letter E or a capital E followed by more than a single number. So it's probably because they don't want eBay in everything. It's probably why they put the E there. It can't contain the brackets or an @ sign. It can't be the username of another eBay member. It can't contain www anywhere in the name. It can't contain 2 or more consecutive spaces or non-alphanumeric characters. It can't end with a top-level domain abbreviation like .com, .net, etc. And it can't be a name that is identical or confusingly similar to another company's name, which is protected by trademark law. Also, you can't use a name that contains the word eBay, or one that is confusingly similar to that name. Check out their other information about that. So you think of what you want your store to be. A lot of people, they don't go in there and type in SMPostcards. Once you get a store and you get moving, you can kind of do what I did and some others do. I just went to GoDaddy, and I own www.smpostcard.com and SMPostcards with an S.com. And in the domain, I just pointed to this URL in my eBay store. So anybody goes to www.smpostcards.com is going to go right into my eBay store. That's why have another store? I can only point it to one place. I can't point it to the other one. I'd have to name it something else. Now you're marketing and branding 2 different things. It just doesn't make sense to me. I know now if I started selling automotive parts or tires or stuff like that, I could have, Shellmark Sales was one of my, when I had the toys, that went over to another domain, and that went to another store. Totally different. But I don't do that anymore. I just have one name. And I think the domains are $30 a year or something like that with a the basic stuff on it. So you're paying $30 a year plus the $60 a month for a premium store and stuff like that. So $600, $700, $800 a year, $700 a year to have an eBay store. Now some of the subscriptions you can check, they give you another subscription where every quarter you get some free boxes. I know in the premium store, I think I get $50 every 3 months that I can go to eBay Supplies and buy some boxes. The only time I really use boxes is for Ko-Fi. So I use those boxes in there or whatever, and I got a few down there. Most of the time I don't need stuff, but I'll get it and I'll send it to a friend or whatever because I want to use the $50. But moving to a store, if you're really into postcards, because if you just got the basic, you're just doing 30 free listings a month and putting 30 postcards up, you're not going to get that far. You're not going to sell that much. There's 11 to 12 million postcards out there. If you want to grow, you want to start looking into the stores and understanding all the tools. Markdown manager, discounts, coupons, newsletters, all that stuff in there you can do. But in conclusion, an eBay store is a perfect platform for selling vintage postcards, offering a global audience of collectors and enthusiasts eager to find unique pieces. Some people put them in an antique booth. Well, you're only going to get the people that come around that area and go and walk in that door. On eBay, you have a global audience if you open up international. You got the whole world. So why just put them in an antique booth and pay your rent every month? Put them on eBay, and if they're good cards. With a store, you can organize your postcards by themes, eras, or locations, whatever you want to do with the categories, making it easier for buyers to browse and discover treasures. eBay's analytic tools help track trends, so you can tailor your inventory to demand, while customizable branding lets you create a nostalgic feel that resonates with the postcard collectors. The store subscription also unlocks perks like discounted fees and promotional tools, maximizing your profits as you share these little slices of history. Now, just having a store isn't going to take you from 5 cards to 50 cards a month. It will help your administrative tasks in the back end a lot, and it will also help your buyers find your cards inside this once they go in and they start coming back to your store. But it's a point that you need to get to if you're serious about this. Get the listings off the table. Don't count listings. That's long gone. That's the old days. And a lot of people talk about, well, it used to be. I'm not worried about what you did 10 years ago, 22 years ago, 25 years ago. I want to know what's going to affect me now going forward. It's just me. I really don't care what I did 2 years ago. It doesn't play that much into what I am going forward. I want to know what's going forward on there. And it's not coming back, a lot of the stuff. So people can talk about it and everything like that, but us old guys, it's not coming back. So why even talk about a lot of it? That's eBay stores. If you got any questions about this, check the eBay help file, put a comment in here, and I can help probably answer most of your questions on there. If not, someone else can. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.